All right, so welcome to the MMC University. My name is Ernest. I'll be your host for today in this session. So we're gonna talk about something very, very important when it comes to the insurance. Okay, if it is the first time, before I get to that, if it is the first time, don't forget, hey, you know what to do. I don't tell you what to do. You should know what you should do right now. Okay, share with your friend. Okay, with some other people that you know that's studying for that exam, and there is a challenge for them. Please share the channel with them. Let them have a chance to pass that exam because we want you to be able to go to that exam and pass it on your first try. Okay, so don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you like the video, thumbs up, share, and comments. Especially the comments. I love reading the comments, especially when somebody say, you know what, hey, I want this, I want that. I know some people come in here and try to put, whatever. You put a negative comment too, that's okay. You put the positive comment, that's awesome, unbelievable. So whatever, we take it. We take it from there. All right, let's get to work. When you come to here in the MMC University, it's all about what? Working. We're gonna just work about this exam, right? We're gonna just make things happen, right? Let's go ahead. Let's get to work. So now there is 4 elements of the insurance contract. There's 4 elements. Now, what we call there are 4 essential elements for a legally binding contract when it comes to insurance. So when it comes to that, so let me just go through that so you can see the 4 elements that's very important for a contract. So the first one is what we call offer. What is an offer? When it comes to an offer, the offer must be accepted in exact term. When it comes to insurance, the offer is submitted, the application. So now when a client or an applicant submit an application, that's mean they're making the offer. So now that's mean the applicant always make the offer. And now when the underwriting department, they go ahead, do what they need to do, and they check the applicant out, everything looks good, and they approve the policy, now acceptance take place. So the acceptance is when the underwriter approve the policy. So if you are the applicant, you make the offer to the insurance company. Now the insurance company approve, they make the acceptance. The insurance company never makes the offer. And you as the applicant, you never make the acceptance. So make sure you know, it's very simple to know that when you submit the application, you make the offer. When they approve the coverage or the policy, that's when they make the acceptance. Acceptance takes place. I think that's easy enough to get that. So the next thing we're going to talk about, it's what we call consideration. It's another element. Consideration is something of value that each party gives to the other. Now the insured pays the premium. So the insured pays the premium. And I want to make sure I underline this for you. So the insured pays the premium. You can see it right here. But it's not just this that the insured have to do, guys. They also have to make sure all the statements in the application are true. Because remember, with presentation, okay, they are believed to be true. All the statements in any insurance in Florida, they representation. They are believed to be true. Probably most states, they are not guaranteed. Okay, a guarantee is a warranty. A warranty statement, it's a guarantee statement. But all the statement in insurance in Florida, they consider them representation. That's when they believe to be true. So all those statements, when we're asking you, okay, do you have high blood pressure, cholesterol, heart problem, kidney problem, cancer, any of that stuff. So pretty much they want to make sure all those statements are correct, are true, based on your knowledge. So that those are the 2 things that you have to do. So pretty much you have 2 things to do. So you have to make sure you pay the premium. Okay, pays the premium, that's one. So if you take this all the way from here, so that's one of your consideration. You got to pay the premium. Okay, let me just move this so you can see it. So pay the premium. That's one you have to do. And the second thing you need to do, you need to make sure you have to do this second part. And some people, they keep missing this part out. So if you're going to test question, just remember those are the two things that you need to do when it comes to your consideration as the insured. That's your part. As the policy owner, that's your job. You got to pay your premium on time and make sure the statements are correct. Now, if you do those two things, now the insurance company consideration, they have to pay, they promise they will pay the death benefits in the event of loss. So they promise you they're going to pay. So do as I say. No, do as you say. That's the concept that I think I just come up with this thing. I say, do as you say, and I will do as I say. Okay, that's what the consideration clause really saying. If you do your part, then I will do my part. So if you don't do yours, I won't do mine. So do as you say, then I will do as I say. But I promise, if you do as you say, I promise I'm going to deliver. But you, as the insured or the policy owner, you don't promise to pay your premium. But in order for you to consider, for the insurance company to consider you, you got to pay your premium on time. Okay, but you have to make sure you do it. And sometimes people, they have a confusion when consideration and insurance clause is the insurance clause inside of it. The consideration also sit inside of it. So the consideration is also part of the insurance clause because they promise also to pay the death benefit upon receipt the proof that the person passed away. But if you don't do if you violate, because if you don't pay your premium on time, you violate the consideration clause. Now, if you pay your premium on time and your statement are correct and you pass away and the insurance company don't want to pay the death claim, they violate the consideration clause that also lead to violate the insurance clause. Okay, that's very important concept. That's why I make sure I take a little time to explain that to you. All right, so now the next things that we need to know about the 4 elements to the contract is what we call competent party. So now when it comes to competent party, now the 15 you see I put in here, that's for legal age. In order for you to buy a policy, to enter into a contract in the state of Florida, you have to be at least 15 years old. Some state can be different, but Florida, I put that just for people in Florida. But if you're not in Florida, make sure you still know the person have to be legal age. It doesn't matter what state, legal age. That's number one. You have to be legal age to be competent and mentally competent to understand the contract. So you have to have enough capacity to understand the contract. So if you cannot understand the contract, you're not supposed to get into an insurance contract. And you should not be under the influence of alcohol or drugs. So if you go to somebody and you try to do a policy for them and you feel like they were drinking a lot of alcohol or they're on drugs, that's when they're under their influence. So you should not do a policy for that person because that person can say anything. Hey, you know what? Give me the policy. It doesn't matter how much it is. So that's why they want to make sure when you're selling insurance, make sure when you sit with the person, they have legal age and they're mentally competent to understand the contract, and also they're not under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Because if they do that contract and you sell it to them, that contract will be voided. So it's not going to be a good contract. All right. Now, sometimes they try to trick you. You don't need to have a business profession in order for it to be competent. Okay, make sure you understand that. And somebody can also be disabled, they're competent. So disability have nothing to do with the competent party. So because somebody can be disabled, but they're competent. Because imagine if the person like lose this one hand, or maybe one leg, or maybe one eyes, they can still function, okay? But that doesn't mean they're not competent. They will understand the contract. So you have to really make sure you understand a business profession or get a second college, or you have to have a college degree, or you have to finish high school. None of that matters when it comes to the competent party. All right. So what matters, they have to have legal age. They have to be mentally competent to understand the contract, and they're not under the influence of drugs or alcohol. And the last one is what we call legal purpose. Legal purpose. In order for the insurance contract to be legal, they have to make sure it's not against the public policy. They have to make sure the contract is legal. All right, the contract must be legal and is not against public policy. Okay, insurance policy must have both insurable interest and consent, okay, of the insured. And I did mention that because I got to underline this for you. So make sure you guys can see, okay? So you have to make sure you do really understand that. So you have to make sure you have insurance interest in order for you to do it, and you have to have consent. Okay, if you see me looking at this way, because I'm not trying to ignore you, because I have to look at my screen over here. So insurable interest, okay, they have to make sure they have insurable interest and they have to consent. Okay, the insured have to do that. Okay, so in order, that's mean you cannot just wake up one day and say, I'm gonna go put a policy on someone. They have to make sure they consent to that. So make sure you guys understand that part as well. All right. So what other thing I can add to you here? And if the policy owner, that's very important concept, if the policy owner and the insured is not the same person, the insurer needs to know, why do you want to put a policy in that person? Is there any insurable interest between the policy owner and the insured? So why would you put a policy on someone if you don't have any insurable interest? So they need to know, why do you want to do that? So if there is no insurable interest, and you can't put the policy on that person. So you can put the policy on who? On your dad. Your dad can put one on you. Okay. Okay. That's mean your mom also can do one on you, and you can do one on your mom. Okay, your mother, or whatever you want to say that way. Okay, business partner have insurable interest in each other. Okay, now a lender, okay, have insurable interest into the borrower. Okay, so that's mean if you're gonna go borrow money from somebody, they can put money, put it out in insurance on you, and also the employer have insurable interest on the key employee. Okay, and also husband and wife. Okay, if they married, they can put, also put insurance on each other. So those are the things that you need to know when it comes to this. So a lot of time, there's some other concept we're gonna describe for you later on. But so far, this is where we're gonna stop this video. And I really appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch and to watch the video and continue learning with us. And I'll see you guys in the next video, because as we do it, gotta go ahead, do what we need to do. May the best day win. Have a good one. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.